Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Beauty Talks. Today, I will have my friend and superstar realtor extraordinaire, Sandra DEBUIRE. She's French. She's been in Miami for quite a while. So bear with me. She will join the live. We are going to talk about the Miami, South Florida real estate market, which is on fire right now. We're going to learn more about Sandra, how she built her career here in South Florida, and also her background, which is she's done real estate in south of France and in Paris, and also some lessons of how to build a business, how to be successful, and all the lessons learned along the way, and what tools is she using today. So bear with me a second, and Sandra will join. Hold on one second. There we go. So I see Sandra join. Hello, Sandra. Bonjour.
Bon, ça va, Benjamin?
Ça va très bien. Welcome
Hi.
to BT Talks.
Thank you for your invitation.
My pleasure. I always like to see you smiling. I think you're always smiling. You're always, it's very important.
Exactly like you.
It's a signature. It's our signature.
I think we have the same temper.
Exactly. We have that. So welcome to BT Talks. So just for the people who don't know you yet, I usually like to start when I have a guest to kind of give a little background in your journey to Miami and also to real estate. I know you were doing real estate in France prior to here, but let's start by who you are. A lot of people here in the community know you, but some don't. So they may as well, get to know you.
Yeah, you have some friend that I don't. And I have some friend that you don't.
We all, but yeah.
Together.
Yeah. So who is Sandra DEBUIRE?
Oh, do you want me to tell about me?
About you, exactly. It's all about you today.
You know that I don't really like to. I'm shy.
Just be brief. You don't have to say, yeah.
Okay. So briefly, my name is Sandra DEBUIRE. I work with Coldwell Banker Realty in Miami Beach. And I had the pleasure to meet you like last year when you moved to Miami.
To Miami.
Yeah, it was a great pleasure. We have been introduced by your broker, Patricia. My broker.
She's an amazing person. I wanted her to join the live. She had something, but she'll watch it after. But yes.
Okay. So I moved from France already 8 years ago. I started in the real estate in Miami Beach with Coldwell Banker in October 2014. And I'm now part of, I guess, the real estate agent who live from their work. And I guess I'm pretty good about what I'm doing.
You are very good, but I think it's something that's very important. And I think this is the first thing when I met you is your likability. And that's what I think is a factor that's very important in this business and in any people business. So that's, I think, with patience and persistence and making the right connections and knowing your craft, that's how you built your success. But tell us a little bit about your journey from the day you came to Miami, because so prior to that, you were practicing real estate in France?
Yes.
So how was your experience in France? Because in France and in Europe, it's a little different than the US. Maybe you can give a little insight.
It's completely different, as you know, because in Florida, we are in charge of doing the marketing. We do the contract. We follow up with the seller, the buyer, and more importantly, we represent most of the time the buyer or the seller or the renter or the landlord. And in France, it's very difficult. It's very different and difficult too, because we don't have this database called the MLS.
Yeah.
So you get your listing, and 99% of the time, it's not a non-exclusive listing agreement. So you just, try to sell a property, but you cannot really invest any money in the marketing as we do it here because we don't have the exclusivity, so our work can benefit, other agents who are not doing anything, but they just hang up with the ad of the house for sale in
Yeah.
their little real estate boutique.
Yeah.
I think the system in America is much more powerful, and of course, when we fight or when we negotiate, we try to negotiate the best that we can for the benefit of our
Of course.
client. While in France, we represent both parties. So basically, you're just an intermediary. Your job is mostly to show. And after you give the contract, sometimes the real estate agency you work, the broker you work for, or you use a notary. So the
Exactly.
totally different. And I will say that you don't need as many strengths and quality being an agent in France than you need in the US. And my
Exactly.
very successful agent that I met in Miami are really top intellectually. They are very knowledgeable. They are very good at what they are doing, and they have skills on different subjects.
Yeah.
They are excellent in marketing. They have very good communication skill. They are amazing negotiator.
We have our friend Dina who joined the live. She's the best.
So yeah, I guess that you have much more. The job here is much more interesting than it is in France.
It is, yeah.
But my personal experience, I used to work for notary, so I was in charge of doing all the appraisal in case of divorce, in case of people who passed away, or whatever, whenever you need. And from that, I was getting the listing to sell. So the job was really different.
Yeah. There's Dina who's asking, I mean, she's saying, are you in a chalet? Where are you right now?
I have a house north in Ocala with horses, and that's where I am. I took off for the long weekend.
There you go. It's a good spot to be right now and relax and disconnect.
Yeah, it's very good to be away from Miami.
How far is it from Miami?
It's 4 hours and a half.
4 hours drive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good driver.
Well, good spot.
The motivation is high.
Exactly.
But
So
visit me one day.
no, for sure. And I love horses. So when I was younger, actually, I used to horseback ride. So I'll definitely come and visit there next time you go. Dina says, no relax, no disconnect.
No
Check your emails. Yeah.
Dina, you are like a go-getter. You never.
Oh my God. She is incredible. Incredible person and hard worker. And she's just really good. That's it. Can't say.
Benjamin, you know the difference between French people and American people.
Exactly. I do. I do.
We work to live. They live
I
to
know.
work.
Well, that's so no, but to come to a different point, we both, lived in France and in the US, and it's a very different mentality culture, especially when you're an entrepreneur, and being a real estate agent advisor, you are an entrepreneur. And here in the US, especially in the, main big cities, Miami, New York, LA, in the real estate business, it's very competitive. And you have to work hard. It's not the same thing. I mean, and you're also very collaborative, I think. That's what I find here in the US and especially in Miami, compared to, say, in France, where people are used to just the system and do the things day by day.
And fire.
Exactly. But here, you have to do things differently in order to stand out. It takes time. There's a whole process. You build your network. You also... I think that's what I did. I know that's what you did as well. It's also important to have good relationships with other agents and meet them and know that you work with them, right?
Yeah.
And know you can you can trust them.
Yeah. Now we are deal maker, and we need to obviously have good relationship to get the best for our clients.
Exactly, it does help.
Work, because there is nothing worse than the agent who feel they are in competition with you during a deal, and the only thing they try to do is to mess up the deal, and at the end of the day, everybody lose.
Yeah. And every deal is different. I mean, even in my experience, I learned through the different deals I did, smaller and bigger, but every deal is different. And when you deal with the other agent and all the parties involved, sometimes it's a smooth transaction, and that's amazing. And sometimes there's bumps in the roads, and the other agent, it doesn't know that much, never responds. There's a whole lot of things that happen, but look, it's part of it.
Yeah. But
So,
at the end of the day, it's a very small world.
yeah,
And we all know each other. All the people who really put
everybody.
Miami, all of them.
Look, everybody in Miami, we know who are the best brokers as people and as brokers. I think that's very important, but we do know them.
Yeah. No,
So,
but what you're doing with BT Talk is very, very good. I told you last week when you came for the open
thank you.
house,
Yeah,
I
thank you.
told you it's a great way to network and to meet great people. So
Exactly. Thank you.
great job. 1 year.
I'm happy that our friend Dina is on, and she's commenting and saying some very nice word. I really appreciate Dina. Dina, you're up next soon.
Yeah,
When
I
you're
thought Tina was closing some deal, but apparently she relaxed.
No, Dina closes some multi-million-dollar deals every week. But that's good. It's inspiring.
Thank you
Um,
for all the people who join. Huh?
it's great. So no, to come to BT Talks again, and I'll say it again quickly, but BT Talks basically came up, during the pandemic. I was like, I have this need to connect to people. We were kind of in lockdown because Florida is a little different than anywhere else. But I was like, you know what? We have Instagram. I don't need a full production. I'm going to start connecting with people. Some I know, some I'm going to reach out because obviously today with all the different social platforms, we have access to pretty much everyone. And I started to do it and being consistent and doing 2 times a week. And I got some incredible people up to now. I did a slight break of a few weeks. And now over the next few weeks, I have some incredible people from all over the world. And you get to learn about people. You get to learn new things. Most people are in real estate. Some are in architecture, design. Some are in other businesses. So I kind of mix it up. And I love doing it. It's... look, we're in the people business. So
Totally.
tell us, yeah,
And
what is
to
it?
as much as we do.
Yeah. So tell us a little about
Hi,
how,
Chad. Sorry,
so
I to just pop up.
no, it's okay. So tell us so you've been here for 8 years in real estate. How did you build up your career? Because you didn't come with that much here in
No,
Miami. Like you built up progressively your career.
I just came with my 2 kids,
So,
6 months, 2 years old.
yeah,
So
and being a mom is a second job.
it's a full-time job. I
Full-time
mean,
job. Yeah.
to all the mommy at home because I think it's easier to be a real estate agent and to go to work than to raise kids.
I can imagine. It's not easy. I have a lot of friends who have kids, and it's amazing, but it's a full-time job.
Oh, it's a life changer.
So how
But
did you manage? How did you manage it to you start you're like, I'm going to get into real estate here in Miami. How did you start?
so first of all, I joined Coldwell Banker. That is really a very American company.
Mm-hmm.
And to learn the way the American people were doing business. And that is it was very valuable for me because I needed to switch my mentality.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we don't do the business the same way. And the day I understood how it worked, then I started to be, more successful. And so I've been to the office every single day, meeting my colleague and going to every open houses, every event, not, just trying to be in this real estate world and understand how it works. And just by being at the office, I got my first lead, some top
And then you
agents.
built it up. Yep.
Yeah, they get some call, then they say, hey, want to handle this rental, and I've been very helped. And I should say also that I have an amazing relationship with the Jills and especially with Danny Edsberg and Hilary Edsberg and Jill Edsberg. And they have been my mentor, and they
Mm-hmm.
help a lot. So I feel lucky.
Yeah.
But I guess also on the other hand, you know, we did some business together. We did some co-listing, and at the beginning they gave me some lead. But I think each time they knew that they could trust me.
It's all about trust is everything. And I think they saw something in you and they were like, okay, I'm going to give you a chance, because it's hard to be like by yourself and, go after find new clients. Even if you have the network, even if you're doing all this thing, you need to have mentors that help you and guide you and believe in you and trust you.
Completely. No, you have to. And that just puts you out there. You can start to do your listing presentation. You get your first listing. And on the other hand, all the agents who helped me by giving me lead, they knew that the job was well done. So for their image, they were confident that the client who reached them will be happy with my services.
Exactly.
So it's a mutual help in a way.
And then you get referrals.
I got referral. And after, you close one deal and you have another deal and another deal and the friend of your client. So that's like a snowball. Yeah. And I guess that's the way you're doing it too.
Exactly. And you have to be patient, I guess, and persistent. It's not overnight, but I think if you do it, I mean, look, I feel for me, it's not work because I love it. And I'm sure for you as well. Every day you wake up with this purpose and we love obviously properties and architecture and design, but I think we have to love people. I always think and say we have to love people first, because it's psychology, understanding what the buyer wants, how the seller wants to sell his property, all these things. And we're kind of psychologists a bit, I feel.
No, we are. I mean, that we know everything about our clients.
Yeah, like everything. I
think we are part of one of the key moments of their life, because to buy a home, even if it's an investment, it's a big expense. So we be with them all along the way. And as I said, and as you said too, you have to be consistent. So for me, it was to go to the office every day, no matter what, and to keep doing. And even when, it doesn't work, then you just try again and try again and try again. Like for any sports, you train.
Yeah.
And the day you can mark, then this is great. And the first deal, whatever is the first deal, it's very important, because that starts to build your confidence, and more you close,
so much
build your confidence. So, I mean, I've been to listing presentation with some top agent, and they barely don't use a listing presentation.
I know.
I mean, it's just because of them, the presence, their experience, and you feel then the client, as we said, feel in trust.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you win this trust, I think it's half of the job done. And after, just keep doing what you have been taught to do. And
confidence is everything, I believe.
Yeah, it helps.
What was one of your, I'm sure you had many, but maybe what was one of your best experience, whether it was on the buy or sell side or both with a client? Do you have like a little story you can say, something that inspired you, or an experience that was just memorable throughout the years you've done business here?
I think, unfortunately, you always learn more from the bad experience.
You do so much, yeah.
You grow, and that's true for business, and that's true for your personal life. So I don't know how many deals I've closed so far, but
a lot.
A lot. And I do remember all my clients, and I keep in touch with all my clients, and some of them became friends, and some of them, you don't, and you are always the one to be blamed. I mean, we are really the punching ball. So we are
It's all
right.
the time. It's all the time your fault.
So yeah, it's terrible. You have to be strong in mentally to be
Exactly.
good in this business.
Yeah.
I think that's the first point.
We
And
we have my good friend. You have to connect with him, Chris Boswell. He's the best
I
of the best in Dubai, the best.
oh, thank you for joining us.
He's always joining and supportive. He was actually my first BT talk, and Chris is a dear friend, and we met through social, and then we met in London. So Chris, thank you for always joining.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Chris. And
Yeah,
I have Claire also who just joined us, and she's a new agent in
very cool.
Ohio. I sold their parents a home, and we met briefly, and I saw she had a lot of potential. And it's true because she already closed several deals in few weeks, which is incredible.
Very cool. So yeah, to come back to the experiences, everything is different, and some you connect with, some you don't. You build lifelong relationships, and again, we're responsible for everything.
Oh yeah, we have to do it all.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
what? So now we're very lucky. I mean, first we live in an incredible city that is constantly, growing. The market is truly on fire. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon for many reasons. What are your thoughts on the market? What have you been seeing? What do you think of the future of Miami?
I think Miami has been always undervalued for many, many years. And I think finally Miami became an international city, not only for partying, but also for business. And we see a lot of talented and successful people in various businesses who move to Miami or have a second home in Miami. I think we cannot be ignored anymore. And it was very a loved city by European and by South American. And finally, thanks to the pandemic, the American
No.
finally discover or rediscover Miami with different view. And I think Miami will just keep on growing. It's a very exciting, city. I love the international side of it, and it's a small city too.
It's kind of,
So
yeah, everybody knows everybody. There's a community. Yeah.
exactly, and it was great for bachelor, and now it's great for family. And so many family have moved to Miami permanently. So I think this is also a new factor. And you have some area who have grown tremendously because they are, full-time resident neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I think we are just at the beginning. I think even if we have seen a lot of price increasing, all the prices are increasing a lot. I think we are still cheap compared
To other cities, of course.
to other city, like compared to New York, compared to Los Angeles, compared to
Of course.
Chicago, Boston, even it even from Paris.
Yeah. Paris is expensive. I mean, it's a different type of product, but it's definitely expensive. So
Yeah.
we have Josie who's asking, was it hard as French speakers to build your clientele?
Actually, most of my clientele is not French, is American, and even some other foreigner.
Easier
And
to work with.
it's
Kind of.
no, it's just
Depends.
like because I think I'm in such an American company,
Yeah.
it's an open door for the American clientele. And at the beginning, like every foreigner, we are afraid of our accent, the fact that we don't speak fluently, the fact that we are not we are not a Miami-born resident. But actually, the people are so open-minded in
Yeah.
Miami that it's a strength. For me, it's a strength.
That's a thing. That's what I found when I came here is there's people are very open-minded.
Totally. And as long as you do your job well and better than the other one,
Yeah.
they want to work with you.
Exactly.
You know?
There's Dunya who's asking how the school system is in Miami. Is it good quality? Yes. I mean, now there's very good schools, private
Yeah.
and public.
The school system has improved a lot. It's I mean, I'm not.
There's some of the best schools, I think, in the country in the South Florida area.
Yeah, the University of
Also.
Miami, a great university, and I mean, everybody has their own
Exactly.
expectation regarding their kids. Well, personally, I think just for the kids to be able to grow being outside,
Exactly.
it's a big privilege.
Yeah, exactly. So I have, before we finish, I have one last question. Do you have a morning or evening or both routine? How do you stay sane? What do you do when you're not doing real estate? Because obviously real estate is a more or less 24/7 job. But
Oh,
how do you stay sane? I mean, everybody has their own things. You know, for example, for me, I mean, I'm an early riser, and I like, honestly, it's not cliche, but I really do wake up and meditate and do 1 hour workout. I do sometimes some reading or listen to, you know, podcasts or something, and that's my time in the morning. And I try to disconnect if I can an hour before I sleep, you know, from my phone, because then we're like nonstop on it. What do you do on a daily basis to stay sane? Because our phone is like nonstop if we're not in control.
I will say that first of all, my two kids keep me in the ground.
Yeah.
I have been recommended to do meditation, listen to podcast, but the reality is I have no time for this. So my only way to really get my me time is to wake up early in the morning, and as you did this morning, watch the sunrise.
Sunrise. Yeah.
And that's already set the tone for a great day. I read a lot. I'm a AV reader.
Hmm.
Not as many books as I used to, but I'm always interesting to know what's around the world and to read new books. That's my way of relaxing. And as we said, I am not a gym person neither, but I love all the outdoors activities.
Outdoor sports. Yeah.
So I have two dogs, so I go for a walk. I mean, two times a day, at least for a long walk, and that's my me time. And otherwise, I ride horses, I dive, I do canoeing.
It's the best. Yeah.
Or I try to do some sports,
But
but
outdoors, we're
out.
very lucky. We're in a location where we can actually do outdoor sports, you know, a
Yes,
lot.
biking, anything that is outside.
No, I
That,
agree. I mean, I mix it up. I mix it up. You know, I do a bit of, I actually do outdoor workouts, and then, or I do some running. But now, actually, I told myself this year I want to get into kite surfing. That's my big thing. So,
I know a good spot, and I have a friend who is doing kite surfing.
so I've always been into water sports. So kite surfing is my next thing. Well,
Yeah.
Sandra, thank you very much for being a wonderful guest.
I think we have just one
Let's
question.
see. One
As
more question.
Miami saturated with realtors? Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, it is. But only few are making a living because that take a lot of time, and I don't think you can succeed if it's not your full-time job. And
You
if
gotta
you,
be you have to be committed.
yeah, you have to be committed, and you also needs to be very stubborn to keep on getting it as we are and keep going.
You have to.
And you have to, and you have to like to win. It's a competition, but it's a very healthy competition because, as we say, the relationship we have with other realtor, it's more motivation than
I agree.
competition.
It's very well said. It's more motivation than competition. I mean, that's if you have in your mind you're competing with everyone and you're like, oh, she's selling this, he's selling this. It's complicated. So
Yeah, no, but it's an amazing job. It's very rewarding when you see that your clients are sometimes even happily surprised,
yeah,
surprised that you can get them. on either end or hand. Yeah, that's it's a great job, but you need to understand it's very difficult, and we are maybe well paid, but I guess that I think we really deserve it.
We do. I mean, I think the you know, there's a few, whether it's in Miami or any other big city, that do very well, but they work hard, and you know, we deserve what we get. I mean, we don't have a salary; we're paid on a commission basis, and sometimes, you know, people have to know sometimes the deals don't go through, so you work for like 2 months or 3 months for X or Y reason. There's always a little risk.
Oh, you
So
have what happened to me one time. You asked me for a story,
yeah,
but I worked for over 2 months with a buyer,
yeah,
paying the daycare for my two kids. So that cost me money.
yeah,
And after two offers that fell through because of inspection, always
yeah.
be careful.
Always, yeah.
Then what happened is they bought with someone else.
It
Uh,
happens. It happens a lot, unfortunately.
and but this lesson was a great lesson.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think also the most valuable thing, we say it a lot, but it's time. So our time is very valuable, and I think, you know, sometimes you can work, say, with a buyer for. I mean, you have to be clear. I think a key also to success is also from the start of a relationship is to set expectations and to really explain your clients the process. So that way they're clear, you know, because a lot of people, they're not educated and on how it works, and they don't know. So
Yeah, no, it's, but that's part of the business, that's the way. And I personally think you should invest the same energy for all your clients, doesn't matter the budget.
yeah,
And the budget just go after. I mean, just keep doing what you are doing the best way you can. And after you can, you know, jump up in the different level of transaction,
for
but
sure.
just do the same thing for rental, for sale. It's
Everything, because you never know. You know, you can have a, say, $4,000 or $5,000 rental, and a year later it turns into a buyer, and it could be a buyer for $1 million or more. You can have someone, you know, selling a property that you helped for 300,000, and sometimes it could be a multi-million-dollar deal a few years later if you have a good relationships. Everything is possible in this business, so
and especially in Miami.
especially in Miami. Very good. So we had a wonderful conversation. I think we could talk for hours. I think there's so many things we can talk about. We'll have to do episode 2 at some point. But Sandra, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest. Thanks to everyone who joined. I really appreciate it. I saw a lot of people join, some of our friends, some other people from all over the world. So thank you so much. Please make sure to follow Sandra and her team, and you can connect with her as well. She's wonderful. And have a great afternoon, and see you guys soon. Sandra,
Thank
à
you.
bientôt.
À bientôt. Looking
Bye.
forward to the
Likewise. Bye. Same thing. Bye.